Yes. So this, I just thought I'd pull together a session on Mailchimp, but really this is very much like a free sort of session of like, or not free as in like monetary, as in like free flowing. That's the word I'm trying to say. Like just a kind of like interaction session for us to chat together. So I haven't got any fixed agenda, and so that's why it might not work as a recording. I don't know. I'm going to send this out to a few people. You can let me know if you found this helpful when you're watching the recording. But really, this is I haven't got normally when I put together a workshop, obviously I've got the whole structure, but this is really just like, let me know what you are struggling with Mailchimp, and I can screen share, and then we can just do some troubleshooting. So that's what it is really. It's just like, rather than it being like, this is how you use Mailchimp, step by 1 to 10. I haven't put that together. I can do, if that feels that that's what people want. I'm definitely not a Mailchimp expert though, so I'm going to say that hands up. I'm not a Mailchimp expert, but I obviously send newsletters, and I've taught enough of you yoga teachers how to do them, and I can get you started. But I've definitely, like you with all the things that we do with the yoga teacher, I've muddled my way through it. So I remember doing emails and sort of going through a process of crying, losing it, losing the whole email, crying some more, then deleting it by accident, then finding 4 days later I still haven't done an email, and then literally like being like, I don't understand. So I remember those days, and I'm telling you now, it won't always be like that. Okay? It's actually quite simple once you get going with it. So I have had that experience of being like, why does this take so long? I can't possibly spend 4 days doing a newsletter. And you can't spend 4 days doing a newsletter. That is not a good productive way to spend your time. We've got better things to be doing. So let's have a little chat. What might be coming up? What's finding difficult? I think somebody was going to send me some questions, but they didn't in the end. But I think I spoke to, I think it was putting in the names. I think that was one of the questions, or building the list. So fire away if you've got any questions, and jump on. You can unmute yourself and let me know.
So I do the free version of Mailchimp. I think that's enough really. But for me, I often find I've created like a template which has like a little logo on it and stuff like that. I find that I think I can use it okay, but I just don't know if I'm using it as efficiently as I should be. If there's like things I haven't worked out or not aware of.
Right.
I think I'm just going to see what you say, and then
I've actually remembered what somebody I spoke to, somebody else, I think I was coaching her this week, said that she was doing her emails from scratch every time. And I need a way to show you obviously that you don't need to do that. So I use the free version. I don't pay for it, so serves me well. I don't see why I'd need to be paying for it. You need to pay for it if you've got loads of people on your mailing list. I can't remember what the actual figure is, but it's pretty high. So the amount of emails that I would say we generally as yoga teachers would send, the amount, and probably the amount on our database as it stands, we're fine for free. I don't see why you would need to pay at this stage. Good for you if you do need to pay. That's brilliant, and remember, like, when you do have to pay for things like that, it's good because it means you're in a really good position because you've got a huge database or something, and so that's positive, and obviously it's worth paying then. But at this stage, I think free definitely. So we'll go through how to put one together. Have you got anything, Paula?
So I also use the free thing, but I tend to not bother using it really, and I use Facebook and but then you're emailing, you're messaging people separately, and it's time consuming. And then I forget that, and in my head I've replied. So I just think to do it all in one go. But I have different groups, and I'm not quite sure how you do different groups. So if you want your Wednesday group to know this, and you want your children's group to know that, and do I I don't really know what I'm doing.
Okay.
So it's with the different groups. It's okay if you're sending the same thing out to everybody, but I don't often do that. I've got separate groups for different things. So I tend to not use it because I'm a bit of a technological idiot. I have to say.
You are not. Right, this is my key thing I say all the time, and people, and I hear you yoga teachers say to me all the time, I'm not very techie, and I'm like, that is not true. Drop that story, okay? You just haven't been shown. That is it, okay? And I said that so many times. I was like, I'm no good on computers. I'm just not going to be very good at it. And I remember saying, and it's not. It's just you haven't been shown. And when you get into it and you know how to use it, you are perfectly capable of being able to use it.
I know I am capable. I just don't care enough about computers.
Well.
So maybe I need to up my game a little bit and care a bit more about.
Yeah, and do you know what? And actually, that is a good point, because do you care enough? And it actually comes up with using social media. And lots of people say, I hate social media. I don't want to use it. I don't care about it. Yoga teacher I was speaking to this morning was saying the same. I don't care about it. And I said, but you care about reaching out to your community. I think this is like, we all care about that, don't we? We all care about reaching out to our community. What are you doing by using Mailchimp, Facebook, Instagram? You're reaching out to your community. That's it. It's not really about you, although it is about you because it's about what you're offering. But it's not really about you. It's about you being able to share what you're doing with your community to support them. And when you start to and I think this is a good way to start really, is why bother? Why bother using Mailchimp? Why bother? Why don't we just send text messages and just not bother? Well, because sending a lot of text messages is obviously a lot of hassle because you've got to do it individually. And it's not a great way of getting all your information out there. It'd be a very long message and it was like you would be able to put anything in. So why bother? Well, it's a great tool of communication. And whenever you're using social or marketing tools, I switch up the word marketing for tools for communication. Okay, tools like that's what I see. I don't see that I'm marketing. I don't ever feel bad about telling everything about what I do because I know it helps you teachers. I know it helps my students. I know it's a positive thing. So whatever I share is a thing of benefit for everyone. Like it's a good thing. So remember that when you're sharing what you're doing in your workshops and classes and your newsletters, you're sharing great things which are super helpful for those that are in your community. They need to hear this from you because they're looking to you to give them your wonderful wisdom and your yoga tips and knowledge, and they want to hear it. So keep coming back to that positive aspect of why you're sharing. And this is what you're going to be using Mailchimp for. A newsletter. So think of the different ways you might use it. A newsletter, a update on classes, maybe upcoming retreats or workshops. Maybe to let people know that you have a cancellation of a class or a new venue. So you're giving them vital information. And that's a lot easier to do that than trying to text everybody in your communities. You build up this database and you can send out a message saying, hey, everyone, I'm not going to be able to do a class. So, you probably would text them as well if you had that. But, you might want to send out that email to say you're on holiday or something like that. So this is like all ways of communicating with your people. Now, one of the reasons as well that we bother with email still is just have a think about what happens when you go to any website like ASOS or Marks and Spencer's or anywhere that you might go online. What happens when you go onto a website, a shopping website? A pop-up comes up. A pop-up comes up and it says, put your email in here for 10% off, doesn't it? Why do you think ASOS, this massive company, is prepared to give every single person that visits their website 10% off just for an email address, just to get your email? Because email is that powerful. Still number one above Facebook, social media, any social media, Instagram, is email. ASOS and Boohoo don't give you 10% off for going to their Instagram account. They give you nothing. They give you 10% off or 15% off even. And if you think about every single person that gives their email and perhaps buys something and it's off of any value normally, it's a huge amount, it's a huge sum across the year, you know, or a quarter. It's like an epic amount of discount they're giving just to get hold of your email. Now that speaks volumes about how powerful it is to input your email into this database. They know that they've got direct access to you. They know that they're in your inbox and you will look at it more so than the social media. Yeah. So that is the power of having a database. And so the first thing you're going to need to do before you even sort of start worrying about Mailchimp is get some emails. So if you haven't done that, like that might sound very obvious, but somebody watching here might think, oh, how do I use Mailchimp? Well, have you got any emails yet? You've got to get the emails first. So you can do that very simply by having your house questionnaire and an opt-in box, which says I opt in to receive newsletters and emails. You can do it by having a sheet. Maybe if everyone's done a house questionnaire and you can't ask them to do another, you just get a sheet, print a sheet and say to everyone, hi, everyone, I'm putting together an exciting newsletter. I'd love you all to sign up. Pop your email into this sheet that I've made up and let me know. You could also send a survey to everybody, like maybe a link, like a Survey Monkey, and get people to put their email address in that way. So you could send a survey out to people through your social media. Say, hi, everyone, I know you're here on my Instagram account. I'd love for you to take part in my survey. Maybe you get a free yoga class if you take part in my survey, and tell me, you know, what days would work for you or what you want to see, and then put in your email address. And that's another way of getting people to opt in. So get people to opt in to your emails and newsletters. That's the number one thing, because without that, you've got nothing. All right. So build those emails address and get that list. And then you can either have that, if you already have it as a file, you can import that into your Mailchimp, your Mailchimp account. So once you've set up your account, get with the free one. Oh, I've got people joining in there. Yeah. So once you've got your email addresses all set up, you know, you've got them either you can either have them as a spreadsheet and import them. I'm like, I put them in by hand. Like, it takes a while. Yeah, it's not the easiest. But when I was building up my when I was building up my database, you can just put them in manually. Okay, so when I get new ones, you know, every time I get a new one, it takes me 5 minutes just put the new ones in. Okay, so hi Amy, nice to see you, and hi Nicholas. Sorry, I hadn't said hello to you as well. So number one is build your email list. Okay, build that email list. Get your emails going. Any way that you know, with the ways we just spoke about. Because this is going to be your direct contact with your community, and you want to cover all angles. Now, there's something that I was hearing, like I reflect on often, of why bother with, I'm, you know, especially if you use Instagram account a lot, why would you think, well, I don't need to have an email list, I've got everyone there, or I can just message people, or maybe I've got a Facebook. Well, you don't actually own your Instagram account. Okay, it's not really yours. It's not protected. You've got a little password that protects it. But if you get hacked, or if your account closes down for whatever reason, totally out of your control, I'm telling you now, Instagram is a nightmare at getting it resolved. They're very unhelpful, and they're not going to help you very much, and you probably wouldn't be able to recover your account. So how are you going to get in touch with everyone? This is why it's so important to have a Facebook group, your email contacts as well, because if that goes down, one or the other, you're going to be a bit stuck. All right, so you need a backup to get hold of everybody. There's not enough to just have. So in some ways, you know, Instagram, yeah, it's great to have it, it's great to have that presence, but still, email is super important. So we're looking a bit at like what we might use it for. So I think one of the best things to start getting, or to set yourself a little task, is a monthly newsletter. Okay, set yourself a little target of putting together a monthly newsletter to your community. So you've got your email addresses, you've put them in. It's quite self-explanatory. I'll screen share in a bit and show you. But you want to think about doing a monthly newsletter, and then thinking about what workshops you've got coming up, what's new. You can then add in what I often call added value. And added value is all the bits of extra information you can give your students which show that you're the expert in your field. The things like your favorite recipe, or a yoga pose, or a meditation technique. Show your community that you're the expert in your field by sharing your pearls of wisdom. And it can be very personal. I mean, I think everybody loves a good recipe. If you're like, oh my goodness, I know Bex has been making keto muffins. I mean, I want the recipe. So yes, like that would be the perfect thing to put into a newsletter. It's giving the recipe for it. You know, it doesn't have to be your recipe. You can share it and say, I've been using, you know, BBC Good Foods recipe for this. It's brilliant. And you put it in your newsletter. Same with Amy. Amy might have her, you know, thoughts of the month, or maybe like upcoming workshop, or a focus of like, you know, a birthing technique of the month, something that you found, and also talking a bit about what you've been up to and what you're discovering helps your community to get to know you better as well. Nicola, you've got a new venue, you know, you've had your new venue, so you could be telling everyone about SWAT or a workshop. Share a couple of photos, you know, here's the photos of the last workshop, what a great success, here's the next date. So you can use it for reflecting and also sharing what's coming up next. So then it doesn't feel too salesy, you know, you're not saying book now, book now, book now, but rather, oh, what a fabulous workshop I had last week. Here's a couple of photos. And, you know, you're sharing community news rather than just feeling like you're like, yeah, buy now, buy now. So sharing some expert knowledge in your newsletter. And also email is going to be super important when you are trying to sell an offering. Maybe you've got a course or a workshop coming up, and you're going to need to send that in a newsletter, or not a newsletter, as an email marketing campaign. Don't be afraid of sending quite a lot. And you'll probably know, those of you that are in my mailing list, I send a lot about my workshops. I don't send loads. I'm signed up to some sort of things where they seem to send you an email every day about the thing, and you're like, oh my god, like I know, like I'm not, like, you know, and it's sort of every day, sign up. It's like there's some really aggressive techniques. I think it's a bit much to send an email every single day about an upcoming course. I wouldn't really do that, but you know, if I've got something coming up, I will send, you know, a weekly email to say, you know, this is coming up, this course, don't forget to book, and what's it about, because it's another way of you seeing it and reading the information. And so many people say to me, oh, I didn't see that email, have I missed out? And it's like, the people don't always see it. Don't be afraid that you're sending too much. I've definitely been signed up to things which send people emails twice a day. I think it's like is anyone signed up to, is it, I can't remember what he's called, Ryan Rockwell, I think the yoga something, I can't remember what he's called himself, like, yeah, like 2 emails a day. It's like quite American though, like it's like 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, 1 in the morning, like it's, yeah, so I had to unsubscribe because it was too much. So, you know, but a newsletter every month, and then if you've got an offering, a course or retreat, don't be afraid to send at least 1 every week, and then probably coming up to the deadline, probably like 2 in a week, just to say like, hey everyone, you know, it's coming up, like book now. So you want to give everyone that notice. So they're the sort of reasons why you would be putting together your newsletters, and why you'd want to be investing that time. So let's have a look. Amy, have you got any questions that you wanted to cover today? I've got a couple of things to look at. Is there anything you were particularly stuck on?
There was only one thing. It's probably nothing that we can solve. I send newsletters, and a lot of the time they go into people's junk mail, so then people never actually get them. And I don't know if that's something that is just quite a common thing.
Totally common. Everybody gets that. That's why you need to send out a little message in social saying check your spam folders or check your junk folders. So that's quite normal to send a message saying I've sent a newsletter, everybody to check, and they need to put you as a trusted sort of email address. They need to sort of, I think you can tick it in your email or something. You can just say that it's trusted. That happens across the board. Sometimes using a name in your email helps that. So using their name when you set up the email, so it says insert name and it gives you that option. That is supposed to make a difference, but unfortunately that happens. Yeah, you will you can't really do anything apart from tell your community to look out and to check that that they can accept it.
Sorry, but I just wanted to ask, did you ask me if I wanted any questions?
Yeah.
It was just basically mine's really disorganized, because I sort of create campaigns and then send them and then replicate them, but maybe don't change the name. So it's personally just organizing it. But the other thing was, it says somewhere you can do customer journeys, I think. I just wondered if it was, I don't know, just wanted to explore that maybe and just see if you used that before and how that might work.
Customer journeys. I don't think I've used that. Like I said, I'm not, this is like going through pretty much the basics. I don't think I've used.
And I think you have to pay for it anyway. I'm not paying.
Right.
That's the minute, so I've just got the thing. And the other question was, I think you mentioned in one of your other events about, tagging people.
Yes. So
I just wondered, like, what stupidly the process of that. So, you get someone and you put them in, and then do you tag it at that point? And
I'll go through that, because Paul has asked the same thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
With how you segregate groups, and so that is tags. Yeah, so I will cover that.
Thank you.
Yay. Nicola, have you got anything else? Have you got anything?
Not especially, no, just like brand new to Mailchimp, and I did send my first one out the other week, but it's maybe just a case of like, because it took me hours, I'm not kidding, I spent so long like formatting it all and trying to make it work. So yeah, anything to help on the design front, and then like I think you mentioned something about being able to like copy things to use it again, so you don't have to always start from scratch.
Yeah. Okay.
But anything along those lines, design related and things will be helpful.
Fab. All right, well, hopefully you'll be able to get us get a little bit of clarity around some of those things. So I think the best thing to do is for me to jump in and share my screen. Okay, so we are in my Mailchimp account. All right, so obviously we've got your dashboard here, which is going to talk about the latest email, your open rate, that's percentage of how many people have opened, clicks per open rate, and successful deliveries, total opens. So 150 people received the email, but 145 opened it. And then it tells you what's happening, if you've got somebody unsubscribed, and the completed emails there. So it just gives you like an overview of the different emails and how many people you've got in your audience, how many people have joined and added in. So this is just like your kind of real overview. Then you've got your create, your audience, your campaigns. Okay, and then these things, to be honest, I don't really use very much. This, like I said, this is very basic. So all these extra bits, integrations, content studio and website automations, like if you want to look into like getting Mailchimp into your website, which I have, like this is a different conversation. It's not really for here today. I can help with that, but I would need to help with that more one-to-one if you wanted to talk about integrating it into your Squarespace or something like that. Okay, so audience. So you're going to have your contacts in there. And let me just move little faces up there so I can see. All right, okay, so how do you segregate your groups? Let's cover that first. It's called tags. And this is how you can send emails to different groups of people within your mailing list, your database. And the tags is the way so that if you wanted to have different audiences, Mailchimp will make you pay for that. Okay, so you don't want to do that. You want to tag the people in your audience. You have one audience and you tag them in it to create the appropriate audience. So this is like on my audience here is really quite new. I've only just recently started this Your Yoga Reel because I've got two other mailing lists which I've been using for the last 5 years, which is my tonic retreats on. We've probably got a couple, I think we've got over 1,000 or so on that one, and then Groove on Yoga, which I've got over 1,000. So this is all quite new, but this is probably like is much easier. It's much more updated. So here I have the tags. These are the different tags. And when you signed up for the Mindful Visionaries that I did, I put you tagged. Okay, I gave it that tag, and the same for the Yoga Business Immersion and Yoga Teachers Retreat. So you can do that automatically. When I made and created the sign up form for these events, I automatically created a tag to go in it. So you can create that tag. It is quite explanatory. I can go through this step by step, but when you create if you want to create a mailing, an event, a mail or sign up form, then you can associate that tag with it. Okay. And then if I wanted to email, look, target with campaign, I can send an email to the people that signed up for the yoga business immersion or vice versa. And it will just go to them. It won't go to the others. All right. That's how you say. So you could do this as like Wednesday's yoga class, or, you know, my workshop group. And you can change it when you go to the manage audience. You can view contacts. And you can add tags. All right. So you've got these tags. You can see these. I've got some of these people have got a couple of tags associated with them. But when you go to add contact, so if I added a subscriber, add a tag here. So you need to add or create a tag. So when you're putting in your new person, I think this is what you're saying, Amy, isn't it? So when you put in your subscriber, your new person, you can create a tag to add it in. But you can go back to manage your content, contacts and tags. So look, you can go into that and you can go into tags and you can add people in. So you can arrange your tags and you can add it in. Okay. So over here, I've got all these people that are in this tag, but yeah, you can then add, once you add a new person, do you want to go back and add it to other people?
Pip, can you just show us how you add it in? I was on that there. I'm Poola Hall. You can just add me into something, I don't care, and then take me out or something.
Okay.
I was at the top of one.
So let's have an audience dashboard. Okay, so let's see, to add you into a tag. So view contacts. Okay.
Second one down's me.
Oh yeah, there you are. Okay. So click on the name.
Yeah.
And then tags here, top right.
Okay.
So I'm going to add you into Yoga Business Immersion.
Okay.
And I can add you into Yoga Teachers Retreat. All right. So I've added you into those two tags that I had created. Right. So the easiest thing to do is when you're adding is you can either do it for, like I said, from a sign up form. That's how I've done those, or add a new subscriber and create some tags there, and then they will be in the system. But you can create tags here, tag your contacts to organize them however you need to. All right. So this answers you that, Amy, as well, doesn't it? Go into your contacts and add the tags there. Or we went back to here and we've got those tags. You can create a tag here, create tag, and then go back through your contacts. So create a tag, yeah, like Mailchimp workshop, create. Okay, so then we've got that, and then I can go back and add that to Paula and to add that in. How does that sound? Good?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we got it.
Thank you.
Good. That's your tags. I think that's covered that, hasn't it? Is that, yeah? Okay. Say if not, say if you're like, I don't get it still. But yeah, hopefully that should make sense. So yeah, when we go into audience dashboard, we've got view contacts. I'm going to say now I want to add her to my new tag. Oh, there you go, Mailchimp workshop. There she goes. So you added you into that one. All right. Okay. So that's covered the tags. Good. I'll tap that off. All right. So starting from scratch. So now we look at campaigns. Okay. So Amy, you need to rename every single time you replicate your email. First thing you want to do is change the name. Do not leave it, because otherwise you'll end up with like, I'm the same, and I'm saying this because I'm also like that. I'm very naughty, and I end up with like like copy 4.
Yeah.
I say it because I know it. I'm like, really naughty.
Thank
and then
you.
I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine. And then I'm like, it's a mess.
I can't ever find
what is it?
anything. You know, you said about the text. It's like, that's when I'm trying, like, oh, I've saved myself some time. I'll find what I wrote last time. And then I'm going through like 15 different,
having processes in place, like, and I really made myself like, come on, like, it just takes 2 seconds, rename the email, like copy what, like version, you know, whatever it might be. So how do you create, when you've done your email, your first one, and you're like got your brand colors and everything, I never redesign the wheel. All right, I go to the side and I replicate every time. Okay, because I did my email, I was happy with it. Took me quite a while to get the colors and things, and I replicate it. And then once you've replicated it, you're going to rename it. So edit name. Okay, you're going to put the edit name. That's where you change it. You can edit recipients. Okay, so what we're going to do? Well, we're going to I'm going to send this to my Mailchimp workshop tags. Okay, that's how I send it to them. So I've replicated it. Save that. So Mailchimp test. I'm sending it. It's lovely Paula. She's going to get it. my new tag to help with the going into spam. Personalize the two. All right, that might help. This helps to avoid spam filters. All right, whether it does very much, maybe. All right, so subject, we're going to change the subject. Mailchimp. Join now. You want a nice catchy logo. The other one, which is be like, or open here for your news. Okay, Mailchimp training for your teachers. Save. All right, something catchy. Open here, you know. This is for you, or what, you know, it might be. Okay, and then we're going to edit the design. So okay, so there's many different templates you can use, and how this is different, this Mailchimp, is that it used to be that you had the design on the left, and on the right you did all the writing, and it doesn't do that anymore. So I don't know if it's the same for you, or you need to update your Mailchimp. You might need to go to the latest version or something. But it used to be that you had the template on the side and you wrote everything on the right, and it doesn't do that anymore. If you've got the latest version, you can write everything in it. So it just is the same. So I've got those two pictures in there, and then you can change those on the side as you whatever you're going to upload your pictures. I think you can upload images or select images. That's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you just need to upload images, and you've got your links to your web addresses. And so on my photos, I add in the link so that you can click in, and you can also describe. So one of the things that's really key to do is, you know, these text boxes here, these colors, change the colors. Like you can see they're my brand colors. So you can change this. You need your hex code. You put the hex code into here. So hex codes is how you brand your everything, like your website, your emails, your everything is going to be your brand colors. So if you haven't found your brand colors, do that. I talk about this on the Yoga Teachers Mentorship Program and things like that. We work a lot like brand colors and putting this all together, but you need your hex codes, and that's when you can start adding. So I know what my brand colors are, and I just drop the hex codes into here. Otherwise, they've got some for you, but it's nicer to have your own one. And this is how you can keep your email on brand. And you can do this canvas and the backdrop. All right. Now coming into a text box, you've got a few fonts. You haven't got very many fonts. There's not loads, but there's some. Okay, so you can change that. And you can change the color of your text. Now, I tend to try and keep things like the same by same. So I replicate the email and just change the text that I need and change the photos. But I try to keep the same. Once you've set up all the bits at the bottom, here is really important. Don't forget to do this. Don't let these be blank. You've got to add in your Facebook links, your Instagram. Now I've turned off Twitter because I don't have Twitter. So if I wanted Twitter, you turn it on, but I turn it off because I don't have it. YouTube, I mean, I do actually have YouTube, but anyway, I turned it off. So you can have all those different links, fill them in. This is really important, all right? You've got your buttons that are really important to use with your links. And this is where you put your buy now or your book now, or I put here what the teachers say about Elevate, the mentorship program. Like I've got a button here so that when people click it, it will take them through to see those reviews. So you've got all the different tools that are being used, your buy now buttons or click here buttons, here your social links. I put quite a lot of text, I would say, in this email. I probably, if my business partner Naz, who I do obviously the retreats and things, if she saw this, she'd be quite cross with me. She'd say I've got too much text. So it'd tell me off. Don't put too much in. Nobody has got time to read War and Peace. So your newsletter, there's somebody I know, bless them, like they're quite well established, but they've sent out newsletters for a long time. They go on and on and on and on and on, and there's like just like there's this and there's another recipe and then there's another. It's just too much. Okay, you can't, like, no one's going to read it. So keep it short, keep it snappy. Choose a couple of things you want to share. Don't go overboard because people haven't got time to be doing loads. If you have written a blog, you would write, click here for my blog, which should be on your website, because your blog should be on your website, not in a newsletter. It should be on your website because it helps with your ranking. Okay, so always keep blogs and things on the website. If you have written something, by all means put it in, but it's just easier if you have it as a button, and then it's not sort of like reams and reams and reams of like info. So to put in the different blocks, you click here on this button for this plus, and here we can put a layout, a heading, a paragraph, an image, a logo, a button, a divider, spacer, a video, social link, a product if you're selling, a survey, and that. So there's many that you can do. You've got to have a play with all the different options. So I could put in another image there, and then add select image. We've got all my images here, so maybe I want to put in this one. I'm going to insert that, so I'm going to put that in, and then I can move this a little bit, make it a bit smaller, a bit bigger. And then I thought, okay, that doesn't really work for me, I'm going to delete that. All right, take it out. Here we're going to put this button. Maybe I feel like I want to put in a what else do I normally use? A button, really. So I put my button. All right, comes out like this. I tend to do mine as outlined and then change the shape and put the web address in there for my button. And then to change it sort of here, you just click on, and I'll write, you know, click here. God, I can't spell. Not good to do on a workshop. Click here to book. There you go. So that's my button, and that's going to have the address in there that I want, that will take you to my website. All right. So this is like keeping this and replicating it is just the best. So like there isn't that much you can do. I mean, you want to have a bit of fun with it, you know, like this saves automatically. So I don't know why, if you're doing it, somebody said to me the other day that they did it and they lost everything. I mean, I don't know how you've managed to do that, because it saves it automatically. And even if I did this and I came out and my computer crashed, it would still be in my campaigns as a draft. All right, because I haven't sent it out, so it should stay there. There's no way that it should be deleting and disappearing. All right, I don't know why it would do that, because if I come out of here and I'm like, oh, I just need to go and do something else. Okay, go to my campaigns. It's here, Mailchimp. Look, draft. It's a draft, right? So it's not been sent out, so it's ready to be edited again. These will say sent. It tells me how many were open, how many people clicked through. And by the way, numbers, believe it or not, quite low click rate is actually quite good. It's like, it's really low. You're like, oh my goodness, it's like only like 40, to have 40%, 6% open rate is actually really good. Like it used to be when I worked in my corporate job, we'd be happy if I had about like a 17% open rate. And that was with a database of like, you know, you should have like, I don't know, 20,000 or something. So to have like, it's believe it or not, like 50% open rate is pretty good. That's why you've got to send them quite often, because the click rate and open rate can be quite low, or seem low. You know, you're never going to get 100% people opening. You're definitely not going to get 100% of people clicking through. Right? I mean, this one's like 6 clicks. That's great. I mean, 32 open. So that's like a win. So let's come back to the test and we can go back to edit. And yeah, we've got we can change at any of the points, and go back to edit the design. So I would, change the pictures as you need. Don't make them too big. If your picture is too big and it obliterates your email, make it much smaller. Now, one of the really important things, you've created your list, you've written your information. I would write your text probably on a different thing. I'd probably write it in Word and then drop it and paste it in, rather than writing it in the email. Maybe that's more helpful. And then to make the sort of design, use this feature, and then you can add in the layout. You can change that. So select a layout to appear here. You've got different templates. Let's have a look here. Yeah, like there's these different ones here. You can change it if you need. So you can preview these different ones here, add in the different logos. You can use all these tools. It is a bit about, gone out of it now. It's a bit of playing before you get happy with your layout. All right, I'm happy with mine. I used whatever layout quite a simple one. I don't want it to be overcomplicated. I don't need loads of like images. Like I said, you want images to make things stand out and be bright, and then some, you don't need so many. This is probably image like small, but also you can, it says it can obliterate inboxes if you've got too many images and they're too high res or they're too big. So we're going to the preview now. One of the most important things to do when you're doing your emails is to click what it looks like on the phone. All right. And you got to check your text. Look, that it looks okay on the phone and it's not all weird and wiggly and all on funny lines. Okay. I always check, what does it look like on a mobile? That's more important than checking to see if it's on desktop and what it looks like. Nobody looks at emails on desktop anymore. They look at it on their phone. So yeah, which is really frustrating when you're like, I love my email, it looks so nice, and I've done it on my desktop, and then everyone's like, and then you look at it on your phone, you're like, oh, it looks rubbish, like the photo's all weird and the text is all like on different lines. So you're going to have to check that it looks half decent. And if you can see here, this is too long for a phone. So you want to have it quite short and snappy. The next thing to do is to make sure you send a test email. Always send a test email and look at it on your phone yourself, and look at it in your email and check for spelling mistakes. All right, that's probably a biggie. You don't want loads of spelling mistakes. You need to make sure your copy is looking good. Here you can check your links. I really, really recommend that. So click on here, checking they're all live and they're working. Yeah, great. Here I go. There's my testimonials. There's my pop-up. This is how I get people's email addresses. I've got my lead magnet. The lead magnet is my free thing, which is the free coaching workbook. And then if you put your email address there, everyone that comes to my website is going to fill in this, hopefully, and get the free coaching workbook and subscribe. So this, yeah.
Can I just ask about that with your pop-up?
Yeah.
Is that when people sign up to it, do they automatically get it, or do you have to send it manually?
No, I don't. They automatically get it because this is my Mailchimp is integrated into Squarespace.
Okay.
And let me show you. So, so what I did when I first set it up is the first campaign. See, these are all sent and published. Let's go more. And there's one, this is my sending. Okay, this is the welcome email. So this is sending, meaning this is ongoing.
Okay.
And so this is always active. And this is all the people that sign up welcoming. I wonder if I can see it. I don't know if I can show it because I think if I have to, I can't edit it because if I edit it, it stops something. But yeah, basically this has it in there. I think I should be able to. I think anyway, it means like I've got to.
I can't remember what I've actually. I feel like I may have done something, but I don't think it was literally at the very, very start, and I probably wasn't.
Yeah, and this will be like, so if I'm going to edit this, it just pauses it. Pause and edit. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to pause it so I can edit because this is ongoing. Everyone who subscribes is going to get this. Let's have a look at the edit design. So
basically you can put your lead magnet in there.
Yeah. So
yeah.
This is email. Welcome to here. This is Facebook group link here. And to download your free Mindful Visionaries, you click here. All right. So that's how they're going to get it. They're going to click here and then they'll get the book.
Great, thank you.
But you can link it in anyway, yeah. But yeah, this is a click. They'll download it from there. All right. So resume sending, and I will show you quickly. Whilst we're on the campaigns. All right, this is the landing page. This is how you get the sign-ups. See if I can show you. Yes, it gives you a URL, which is that you can put in the link when you say sign up now for my new workshop, and this is, or sign up to get a free something. Right, this is how you do your sign up now, and this is gives you a link which you can put in your bio in Instagram, or you can send it in an email or whatever you might want to do. And then this is the email address, first name, subscribe. This is what's called a landing page. All right, so that's going to get you the signups that come into your Mailchimp account. So when I was doing the Yoga Business Immersion, I shared the link to this. This is what everyone saw. I designed this on Mailchimp. You put your name, email address, you subscribe, you go into the mailing list and it's tagged Yoga Business Immersion. And then I can email you all directly. Hi everyone, well, thank you for signing up to Yoga Business Immersion. Here is the links or something like that. Okay, so this is like your landing page. They're really good to use. They're great. Okay, this is all free. This is all within this is all within the free. It just took a bit of fiddling. I mean, I worked out how to do this on my own. I didn't have anyone show me. It's just playing with it, you know. And so that's how you create your yoga business, like your landing page to create signups. Okay, and that's great. I mean, look, 222 visits for that. All right, so you can get quite a good number of people clicking through. That's how you're going to get people's emails. Apart from saying subscribe here or asking people, landing pages are good. This is what you can use on your social. So I think we were saying starting from scratch is one thing. So you don't need to start from scratch. You just go to your replicate. And the efficiency of it is, keep it short and sweet, get your photos, get a couple of favorite photos, change your photos to keep it fresh. And, keep always when you're doing things like this, it's like, I think you can come out of here now. You've got everything. I think the key thing is to remember when we're going through doing anything like this is, what is your intention of what you're doing? Why are you doing it? And whenever I do anything, set yourself an intention. We're yoga teachers. We want to move through our business with yoga values, yogic values, yogic, soul-centered approach of what is my intention for doing this? Why am I doing it? And ask yourself that question before you start. Okay, well, I want to share with my community this amazing green juice recipe. Okay, we'll share it then. Okay, and what else could you add in that's maybe important? If you approach things from that slightly frantic, I must be doing a newsletter, that's what I have to do because I need more people, that's not a very yogic way of working your business. If you're feeling like you're on the edge and you're like, I just need more people, or I need more signups, think, what do I want to do? What's the intention of what I'm doing? And that I always think really helps me. And I'm like, well, I want to tell everyone about this workshop I've got coming up. So do that. Just get simple in your head, like get some clarity in your mind about what you're trying to do. And I always think that helps you stop getting into a bit of a muddle about what you should be putting in. Brainstorm things on paper before you start doing it on the computer. Yeah, I'm a great believer in that. I'm a pen and paper person. I write to-do lists every day. I have got about 5,000 notebooks. They're all stacked up. I'm ridiculous. All these notebooks, so ridiculous. I mean, yeah, so old-fashioned in that way. But I love a notebook, and I might even just write down in my notebook what is going to go into my email. And I'll just quickly jot it all down and then start working on it. Because otherwise, if I go into the on the desktop doing it, I might feel a bit muddly. All right. So I think that sometimes really helps as well. So anybody got anything else any other questions about anything that we just went through? Like I said, this is guided by you, so I'm just running off the top of my head with this. So
I just want to say how much easier it looks doing it on the laptop as opposed to like my really ancient iPad. Maybe that was not the best choice.
Don't do it on your iPad.
Like the interface looks so different, and I was just trying to like drag and drop, and no wonder it took me so long because it actually looks simple on the actual computer.
No, do you know what? I bought an iPad Pro a couple of years ago, or more than a couple of years ago, quite a long time ago, because my friend was like, oh, iPad Pro is amazing. It's like a laptop. That's what you want. But it's such a mistake. Okay. It's not a laptop. It's an iPad Pro. It's very much an iPad. And it was really expensive and it's really not good. It really makes things so complicated. I cannot use it at all. I've use it for nothing now, watching films or on a bus or something, and it's like or on the train, isn't it? It's like a massive phone. It's rubbish. You have to have it on your laptop. You have to use desktop to make your life simpler. I mean, I've got my massive Mac, which is what I use for work, big desktop, and I also have a laptop. You need to work it. Doing anything on the iPad or phone is going to make your life very, very difficult. Okay, yeah. Get a laptop.
Yeah.
It's like a million times better. All right, that's the same for Canva, Mailchimp, even sometimes using get it on. The only thing you can be using just on your phone is your Instagram. The rest of it, try and do on the desktop, I think.
I'm so guilty because I've got a really lovely MacBook that just kind of does stay a little bit hidden out the way sometimes, and because I'm being lazy, I'll just sit on my iPad and do things, and it's just like I think I'm making my life difficult.
Yeah, you're doing it with your finger. I need a mouse. I need to have a mouse that I can use and a keypad. It has to be. Yeah, you have to definitely make your life easier. Yeah, good. Any other questions about anything that's been highlighted?
I can't find where I need to upgrade, but I will figure that out in a few minutes.
Does it look? You got the old one where you have it on the left.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating to keep switching it.
I don't know why it did that though, because I don't remember doing anything different. Well, I did actually. I would tell you what is different is I wonder if I go on my old account. I think if I go to Tonic, it's the older version. But when I set up your yoga career, it was this newer version, which is just so much easier than the old one. But there must be a way of upgrading. I mean, I haven't done anything. It's just that when I set up your yoga career, it was this latest seemed like this newer sort of version.
I might just close everything down and reboot or something and maybe see.
Yeah, I mean, do share that actually, because it'd be interesting to know. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know. It can't be. I don't think it's because I'm on Safari. It might. I mean, it may be, but I'm not sure really why it is. But it's definitely looks latest. So maybe look at settings. You can maybe find out. Do share that if you find that out. Yeah. Anybody got any other questions?
Thank you. I'm just going to go and have a play now.
Yeah, have a play and have fun with it. Yeah, like it's playing with it, you know, honestly, that's how I got through it with it. It's just trying and playing with the colors, and you know, yeah, give yourself plenty of time. Don't set yourself for like a crazy deadline to get something done, but get into it and have fun with it and enjoy using it as a way of communicating, yeah, with all your community.
Can I ask you about websites? Do you do something to help people with websites? Is that part of your other trainings, or?
Yeah, I've got other people that I work with. So when you work on my Elevate mentorship program, and we can work through websites. I'm not a website designer, so I'm definitely not going to be designing anybody's website. I've got trusted people that I work with, but we can work through, like, as part of the mentorship, going through different things that you can do and you can get up and running. And then I've got other people that I work with that work with yoga teachers specifically to build websites and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, let me know. And if anyone's watching this on the replay and they're interested in the Yoga Teachers Mentorship Program, it starts on the 5th of September and I have got some spaces available, so I'd love you to join me on that. But if you want to have a chat through and see if it's suitable for you, lovely Bex did it with me. She's done the mentorship. And yeah, just get in touch and we can have a chat about that. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that helped and gave you some confidence to get going. But do message me if there's anything else that comes up. Yeah, and then yeah, ask away in the group, teachers group, and let me know how you get on. I want to see these newsletters, so don't be shy. I'll be signing up.
Thanks, Pip.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was so much less scary now.
Oh, good. Yay.
Bye.
I love you. See you.